Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here once again with some more great StarCraft 2 commentary. This time we're going to be taking another look at a series. This one is going to be between TSL Polt and Acer Bly. Terran versus Zerg, Polt versus Bly. Game number 1 here on the map, Shakuras Plateau. And let us begin down over here in the lower right-hand spawn position with our orange Zerg player, Acer Bly. Bly took third place at the Absolute Arena Invitational. This was very recently on July 25th of this year. And then the next day on July 26th took second place at the PokerStrategy.com Elite Cup qualifier number 4. His opponent over here in the upper left-hand spawn position is our red Terran player, TSL Polt. Polt took first place at the MSI Pro Cup number 11 back in June 27th. 2012, and then 3 days later on June 30th, he took second place at the IGN Pro League Season 5 International Qualifier. And this series that we're watching today is actually from the most recent MSI Pro Cup. Other than that, I can't tell you much more, so let's get things underway. We do have some Overlord Scouts now moving out here for Acer Bly. Sent his first one to the lower left-hand spawn position, is actually sending this second one right up here. He's going to sit that by his natural expansion just so he can watch and see if there's any early pressure, marine bunker rush, anything fancy like that. So far, no expansion or spawning pool yet, although we are going to expect that expansion first here. So there we go, now moving down with this drone, placing that hatchery right there at the natural. And again, should just sit this Overlord right here and watch to see the SCV Scouts when it moves up and if any marines are coming with that as well. Overlord Scout now rerouting himself, will be probably sitting himself right back over here at least to start. And now we've got that drone that will be harassing this quick expansion here from Polt. Polt going for actually command center first. Hasn't placed down a barracks at all, so going straight for that command center. And this is why Bly is able to be so effective here with this harass. Is he going to lose the drone though? Yes, he does. Quite unfortunate there. Bly losing his drone. The biggest problem with that, though, is he's not getting any additional scouting on, so he's not really going to know the timing, although he does have a good idea because, obviously, with that scout of that expansion, he knows that it was command center first, so that's going to give him a rough idea of when to expect the barracks. But, you know, scouting just to see, just in case, if there was a quick refinery with that as well. Maybe Polt wanted to go immediately to mech after that first barracks finished, and seeing if there was a refinery or not could have helped give him that information. So yes, it is quite unfortunate there that Bly lost his drone scout. Polt now moving out with a scout of his own, moving directly cross-positional. And he will be spotting that hatchery, which is just now completing. Also, we do have that spawning pool finished. No Zerglings yet. 2 queens in production at the moment. There we go. Now finally 2 Zerglings being produced right here in the main, and the SCV Scout spotting the lack of extractors. And then just gonna move down here. Like, all right, yeah, that's an expansion. Now let me hightail it out of here, as he does know those first few Zerglings are on their way. And you can notice he's actually not going back home. Is going to trying to be tucking away this SCV for secondary scouting, and actually first just even looking to immediately for a third, but then after that, turning face, going straight back to the natural expansion, going to walk his way right back into the main. And again, he wants to see, hey, are there some extractors? Is there a Baneling nest? Is there a Roach Warren? Those are the things he's looking for. Unfortunately, though, not able to get any information other than the fact that there were no extractors, which is information, so I don't know why I said he didn't get any. Factory now building. We also have the reactor coming out there on the barracks. You can see double refineries up and running at the moment. No refineries at the natural as he's working to saturate that mineral line there with those SCVs. And where the heck did those Zerglings go? Zerglings just sitting at the towers right now for Bly. Decided not to move out with those. Very heavy droning coming up for Bly as well, with 9 drones about to pop. And again, still just sitting here. Not doing too much. Now finally just coming out with those extractors. I delayed that quite a bit as he actually went for that Ice Fisher build. Just relying on queens early on and a couple of unupgraded Zerglings. You can see he does have 4 queens. So again, droned up to about 44. That's typically about where you're going to see it happen, and then just mass extractors get placed down. I didn't even notice that was happening. Back over here for Polt, we are seeing a double Hellions, and then immediately following that up with 2 more racks. So just going to use those Hellions early on to do a bit of scouting and harass. And then you can see planning to move into more bio-focused build. Tech Lab coming down, and another Tech Lab. Ooh, this might be Hellion Marauder, actually, with those double Tech Labs. It's quite possible. Although he could just be going for the double upgrades with the stim pack and the combat shield, so we will have to wait and see what he does decide to do there. Hellions taking map control again without that metabolic boost. Not a whole lot that Bly can do about that against those Hellions. Those unupgraded Zerglings just do quite poorly against that. The Queens, however, especially with their new attack, always having that spine rather than having a melee attack, are quite effective. And Polt's Hellion Scout is able to spot out the fact that Bly has moved into a third now. Bly also working his way up into his lair, metabolic boost, and the 1/1 upgrades coming through. And we've got Stim Pack, but no combat shield, and he is coming out with those double Marauders, so this will be a planned bio with lots of Marauders and Hellions in the mix. Push from Polt. Expecting him likely to move out when that Stim Pack research finishes, and Bly is able to scout this out. Look at this. In there now with his Overlord, able to scout out, hey, there's lots of Marauders. There's still a reactor there on that factory. He's not switching to tank anytime soon. So besides this, a lot of times what you'll also see is Marine Tank, of course, against Zerg. But again, it is going to be Hellion bio mix here for Polt, which can be quite effective. We're going to see Spieling Baneling from Bly in response. I just saw a Baneling Nest. Don't know where it went, though. There it is. So Baneling Nest is here. Layer's finished, so we can start those centrifugal hooks if he desires, which it looks like at the moment he doesn't. He lacks a desire to centrifugal hook. And Bly, now with his third up, is just using it for the larva. Looks to not be saturating that at all at the moment. I guess since the map control is going to Polt, at least right now, he's deciding to hold off on that. Because figures the Hellions will probably just roast most of the drones over here. Getting a couple over, though. We got 2 moving, in fact, which is exactly a couple. All right, here comes the push right now. Stim Pack just about to finish. Combat Shield also going to be finished very shortly, and the level 1 weapon upgrade is all done. He does also have the level 1 armor coming through, but this is a big push now from Polt, and let's see how effective this is going to be. Again, we got Spieling Baneling, lots of creep spread as well, which is going to help that Baneling speed without those centrifugal hooks. They are starting now, about 50% of the way finished, so let's see if he can hold this off at all. Moving forward, trying to get around on those Hellions, allowing those Banelings to catch up. Baneling's not the greatest against the Marauders, going for the Hellions, as well as those Marines. Hellions, though, with some nice micro, able to stay away from a lot of that. Also, we've still got a bit of bio over here, picking off those Queens and continuing to work his way through. And now my guess is he's just going to hit that third and take it out in a matter of seconds. Lots of reinforcements coming out for Bly, as he's going to try to hope to stop this, though. I don't think he's going to be able to do much at all. Going to lose a lot of Zerglings over there because he had them rallied right past this force. And yeah, not looking good at all. Baneling comes down to pop, doesn't really do much damage. Hellions now roasting the worker count. Not good at all. Bly loses his third. Now he's got some Spielings and Banelings in the wings over here. Getting ready to try to ambush, but those Marauders just soak up so much Baneling damage if the Banelings happen to hit them. And wow, look at that. I mean, so much is so injured here, but it's not dead. So Polt still with quite a sizable force, now continuing to move towards now the natural expansion of Bly. Bly has no response. He hasn't countered with any Spielings or anything like that. Not that it would do much with the wall off over here. Banelings rolling down. Hellions get microed back. Marauders again continue to absorb that damage. Finally, though, able to take out the force, but here comes reinforcements. So Bly continuing to deal with the pressure here right as soon as he takes out everything that Polt has. Reinforcements join the mix. Now those Marauders with so much damage to that hatchery. We can start target firing that down. They might be able to get it. It's going to be pretty close. We got some reinforcements coming out. Not going to be close enough, though, as they are able to take out that hatchery. How unfortunate for Bly. Bly in a very tough spot. In fact, I just would want to call the game right here, to be honest with you. Very unlikely that Bly comes back from this. But you can see he lives by the motto, never give up, never surrender. No, it doesn't get much more cheesy than that. Spielings and Banelings move up, as well as those Brewlings that popped from that building. I believe that was an evolution chamber that got taken out. And Bly says, hey, I'm going to stick with it. Plans to place down a hatchery right now here at the natural. And what is his plan? Is he going to try to counterattack? I mean, he is up against it right now. Polt with a third now saturated. Yeah, this is pretty much unwinnable here by Bly. In all honesty, he should do me a favor and just call the game right now. Because I don't know how much longer this is going to go on, but Polt has the game in the bag. Working his way up now to double Medivacs. He's got Concussive Shell coming out as well. 1/1 upgrades finished. Also an armory, which will allow him to start to work up into 2-2 upgrades once that comes through. And another engineering bay. So Bly sticking with it here. Hatch 50% of the way finished right now. He does have an infestation pit, which I didn't spot earlier, so he's going to have a couple of infestors come out. But it's just the odds are... It's not possible for him to win this right now. I would love to be proven wrong, but I just don't see that as being a possibility. Polt is in such a commanding position. Let's take a look at that darn economy there. Polt just unreal economy as opposed to Bly. Army supply, overwhelming numbers, 73 as opposed to 22. He's just wasting my time is what he's doing. Bly does have a couple of infestors out with which he can drop some fungal growth and allow those banelings to roll up. However, we're just going to see Polt with some nice spread here of his forces. There's a scan. Fungal goes down, but sort of wasted because what he's trying to do here is get a fungal down so that the banelings can roll in, just like that. As you can see, not quite enough. And another push here from Polt. It looks to be able to take out this expansion as well. Got a few more Zerglings coming, but not even. Oh, never mind. Nice fungal. Here comes reinforcement bio. So this expansion is a goner now, stimming up. He's got 4 medevacs. Bly finally calls the GG, and that is game number 1 going to Polt. Alright, my friends, that does it here for game number 1 between Bly and Polt. We'll be moving on to game 2 in just a moment. Thanks so much for watching. Stay tuned for more StarCraft 2 action in just a moment. Keep watching and keep owning.